go.
It was not supposed to start here. When I landed in Johannesburg, I went to Alexandra. And actually we were kicked out of there because it's too close to Pretoria. And what we didn't suspect in that time is that the ministry didn't want to see ARVs around.
In 2003, we decided we wanted to integrate TB and HIV. Then we started to build this place. We tried to get permission, but we were not given permission. Then we started to build without permission. And this clinic was never officially opened. It's an illegal clinic, but we are functioning as an illegal clinic, but the best clinic in the world.
We didn't have any drugs. The earliest ARVs were coming on, like AZT, in the States, in Europe. They were beginning to start patients on monotherapy then, like AZT. But you only read about these drugs, and this was very discouraging in the sense you read about them, knew how to use them, but you never had access to these drugs.
We thought in the beginning that our main enemy was the drug companies. So we went for them. I mean, they were given the right to sell without any competition, and they could charge as much as they want. So we went to find out from other generic companies whether there is a cheaper version of the patented drug in South Africa, and we found it. And we bought lots of copies to give to doctors that we worked with. Some of them were MSF doctors, and we asked them to prescribe to poor people who could not afford at the current price in South Africa.
I joined TAC because they fight for the rights of people living with HIV, also for the treatment. So I wanted to be one of those people who fight for the treatment. I went to Brazil with some of the comrades. We went there to fetch ARVs from Famanginos. It was a good experience for me, and also I felt very proud that I had to take what is going to save people's lives to South Africa.
Our relation with the government was a bit strange. We fought together with the pharmaceutical court case. We helped the South African government to win that court case against pharmaceutical company to have wider access to generic drugs. We drank champagne that same night with Mantu Chabalala at her place. She invited us at her place. And the next day, it was war. The next day, suddenly they announced that there was no intention whatsoever to use antiretroviral because they were toxic. We opened the first clinic in February 2000 here in Side B, but we could only treat the first patient with ARVs in May 2001. And between February 2000 and May 2001, we saw hundreds of patients dying.
I started taking ARVs in 2001, 1st of August, and under Herman Temba, the doctor. Then within 2 days, I just felt better than yesterday, stopped diarrhea and feeling stronger than yesterday.
And one day, it happened, we got a call that Mandela was coming next week. Of course, he wanted to visit the clinic there, see a few patients, and then address the crowd. What we wanted is to make this as visible as possible. Nelson Mandela supporting HIV program. This was the greatest achievement that we could have. So, what was the best way to do this? Is to have Nelson Mandela wearing the strongest political symbol that you can imagine in that time, which was this HIV positive t-shirt. And to our surprise, Nelson Mandela was there with his shirt in front of everybody. In the same second as he received the t-shirt, took off his shirt in front of everybody and put the t-shirt on. So our dream was realized, and that's how you got this picture here with Nelson Mandela wearing an HIV positive t-shirt. Spontaneous as he can be, he just put it on like that in front of everybody. And of course that picture went around the world the next day.
standing on the site of the new Khayelitsha District Hospital. It's a hospital that has been in the planning stage for almost 20 years, and we finally got to the part where we're putting bricks on cement. The hospital is going to be a 230-bed hospital, and it'll cater for everything from obstetric services to surgery to anesthetics, psychiatry, and medicine.
Over the last 10 years, I guess the most important improvement has been access to ARV care. I'd say over the last 5 years, there's been quite a dramatic improvement in TB treatment outcomes. There's been a huge reduction in the number of sexually transmitted diseases. There was a huge scale up of condom distribution. We're distributing approximately 1 million condoms a month.
At some point, we need to close the prevention tab where we make sure that people are not getting newly infected. You can treat all of those that needs to be treated immediately when they are tested to try to reduce the viral load for people to infect others, so that even if people were to contact others who live with HIV might not get infected.
We need to go to the community, we need to test many more people than we are testing. To be able to do that, we need to be more at community level, in the schools, in the shebeens, in the taxi ranks, in the community hall.
There's something deeper that we're not dealing with, which is issues of poverty that puts people vulnerable to HIV. I think that's the burning issue, even for people who are on treatment, that we give them treatment, but they go back home, they need food. They need to live in houses that are conducive for anyone to live in.
When we arrived, the HIV prevalence was 15%, meaning 1 upon 3 pregnant women coming to that maternity was HIV positive. I want this HIV prevalence to go down below 5%. It's possible, it's completely possible. And I don't see why we wouldn't get there in the next 10 years.